Hello, ladies and gentlemen. As with you always, this is Max here to talk about my XRP with the hack and all this crazy stuff. Plus, we have news in regards to Stellar, Moneygram, some other things in regards to Stellar, Sorbonne update yet again. Got some BSV news and also XDC. Haven't talked about XDC in a while. Is there something significant in regards to XDC? The answer is yes. It's going to be a good show. Please smash that like. Helps get the broadcast out to a broader base. Glad to be here with you guys. Let's start off with the first comment of the day. And it's going to come from, oh, wow. We have a Killer Instinct combo breaker from the one and only Dennis Leal. Yes, it is no longer from Tim Shea. So that is a definite combo breaker. Yeah. Anyway, Dennis Leal's here. For you guys that don't know about Killer Instinct, that's what they used to do. Combo breaker. Sounds like somebody's stuttering, right? I agree. But glad to have you here, man. Welcome, welcome. He says, hello, everyone. Is it Dennis Leal you're looking for? Lionel Richie. On top of that, we also had the one and only Ms. Brittany is in the house with 3 thumbs up. You know, thank you for being here, Ms. Brittany. Boom. Also, there he is. The one and only Tim Shea, who says, hey, sprays from far away. Everybody hit the DEC, okay? It is the mayor of crypto commissioner, representing the 589th district of the XRP Army and his fellow constituents, the one, the only, Mr. Tim Shea. Thank you for coming back. Tim Shea, your loyal service to the community is outstanding. All right. Gerald is back. He says, hi, all. Welcome back, Gerald. Brian Dowie's in the house. Boom. Always appreciate you being back, Brian. There was a period of time that people were really worried about, you know, let's just be honest, if you're alive or dead, okay? I'm glad you're alive. Boom. River is back. Hey, Max, good to have you. We also have Dwight Von Tress in the house. He says, hello, everyone. Glad to have you back, Dwight. OG Crypto, Mr. Gangsta. Thank you for being back. Welcome back. And on top of that, we have the one and only Ahmed. Boom. All right. So what we're going to do now is just simply get into some of the headlines. I will at least welcome the one and only Uncle Thursday. Max, good to see you. Good to see you too, Uncle Thursday. Is February 14th the day? As far as Valentine's Day, like what exactly are you asking for? Because if you ask Mike Cornwell, aka Elon Musk, if February 14th is the day, then the only clue I'm going to give you is that involves like me wearing a raincoat and lots of like moisture in the air and lots of rain coming out from every direction, like a Forrest Gump. You know what I mean? Like rain from below, side to side, up, down, you know, you name it. Little subliminal message in that regard. But if it's something else, like about a specific date, maybe you guys are referring to the whole thing. What am I talking about? You probably referring to Copa. That could be also a thing. Anyway, teach his own. All right. You're a horrible Mr. Elon Musk. All right. I want to welcome this guy because you rock, man. You do. Guys, give Channing a follow. Okay. He has his own channel. And I don't think you should give up the whole YouTube thing. I'm just being honest. Like, you're very enthusiastic. Anyway, so hey, bro. Good evening, bro. How are you? Thank you for being here. Hey, man. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching the content. I saw your very well written, thought out comment. Not a lot of people type something like that. All right. It was about the quant video. That was so nice of you to share that or say that. I do appreciate it. All right. You are appreciated. Thank you for attending tonight. All right. The AAM. Well, I'm so sorry. You know, this guy, Mr. Mike Cornwell, I'm not gonna highlight that. You're horrible. He's the one that got me all messed up with all these sayings and dates now. So, yeah. Anyway, February 14th is National Coconut Oil Day. Interesting. Cool Cat Crypto's back in the house. Triple C. We also have Salamander, boom, and we're just going to get back into it real quick. David Chi, welcome back. Do you think Salon can hit 10K? I have no idea about that. That I don't know. I don't know. Um, mm, I'm not gonna go with. I'm probably gonna lean towards no, but could it go to previous all-time highs? Could it? Could it? Is it possible it hits 1,000? I think that's possible, but that's not me fudding. I just you asked the question, so all right. But yeah, Salamander, glad to have you here. A lot of you guys are here tonight. Really do appreciate SPL. Yeah, MoneyGram XLM going live tomorrow. That's one of the things we're going to talk about tonight. So we're definitely going to get into that. All right. So we're going to do first is we're going to get into the XRP news because it's hot topic news. And we're just going to pull up some branding here for a bit. Kind of helps me with my markers. Again, I like to advise everybody to please smash that like. It definitely helps in regards to, getting the broadcast out to, I guess you could say a more broader base, right? Before we get into the XRP news, I meant to do this yesterday. I'm not going to wear you guys out with this, but I do want to point something out, and I'll post this other one real quick because I forgot to do it yesterday. This is something I'm at least do at least once a week. So I have been asked numerous times in the past, what particular hardware wallet do I now have? And it's actually two of them, but I'm leaning more towards Decent. If you want a discount, you could definitely check it out. It is this right here, the biometric wallet. Yes, it says Mammoth Crypto. I guess they did a typo or something. But basically, it's 129. It's discounted off from 159. The links are basically in the description. If you want the other one for two, like you and your loved one, whoever that is, especially with Valentine's Day coming up, right? We do have this where you can get $99 off, right? So there's a significant savings. We are talking about XDC tonight, so I will state this, and you guys have experienced this as well in that regard when it comes to XDC with Ledger. Yeah, it was a pain in the butt to make a custom folder and do all this, jumping through hoops to get XDC to work on Ledger, but you can, and I've done that before. Don't want to have that problem? Simple answer is to what? Use Decent Wallet. Why? Because you're not going to have that problem. Okay, it's real easy, like it should be, basically. So check out the links; they're in the description. That is in regards to the Decent Wallet, and that is the main wallet or cold storage I use for right now. I use one different in the future, possibly, but that is what I'm going with right now. Very easy to use. I like how you use your phone app. Yeah, you got to go through the 24-word C phrase, but it's not that big of a deal. All right, going to stop the share on that. Let's kick it into the show. XRP, big news in regards to XRP. So, if anything, what exactly is that? And was there some updates? Well, with that said, let's just get into the nitty gritty about it. So here we go. All right, so XRP, you know me. Well, we don't want to hear about hacks, but they do happen. So, what is the first thing that happened in regards to this timeline? Let's take you there. A lot of you guys probably heard the news by now. Shout out to Mike Cornwell. He sent me some of that news this morning. But basically speaking, there was a lot that was to be mentioned. So, let's start off with this right here. It comes straight from a Blockworks. And I'm going to share this with you guys. And here it is. Basically speaking, this article from Blockworks basically mentions that Ripple was not hacked for 112 million XRP, but its co-founder was. Well, yeah, the co-founder. Well, of course, this is interesting. Posted originally 9:52 a.m. today on January 31st. And if anything, we're going to scroll further down into this. So you do see here that it says an on-chain detective has flagged odd XRP outflows worth roughly 112 million from addresses linked to, of course, Ripple Labs. Zach XBT, who's the guy who reported as far as Blockworks, in a post on X today said that Ripple seemed to have been hacked for 213 million XRP. However, Chris Larson, co-founder of Ripple, responded that his Ripple accounts had been compromised, but not Ripple itself. I mean, that's a big difference. Some people, you got to keep in mind how news basically travels. I mean, we've seen this before in the past. Remember the whole thing with Alliance Block? It's like, oh, Alliance Block has been hacked. Well, in reality, it was Bonk DAO, right? Not talking about the meme coin, but so that particular DAO, and then of course they made adjustments to say, you know what, we're not going to go with them anymore. And then of course we understand the whole thing of, going with Nixera, right? The rebranding of the token from ALBT to that. So news will spread for the negative, and people will come up to their own conclusion about how things really are. Well, let's address how things really, really are. So Larson said there had been, quote, unauthorized access to a few of his personal XRP accounts. Quote, we were quickly able to catch the problem and notify exchanges to, of course, freeze the affected addresses. Law enforcement is already involved. And even I myself, I looked at, the exchanges, and basically I was just like, well, I've never used those, but there's people that have. We get that. But yeah, here's the official tweet. And of course, this is where Zach XBT made his post. And I thought I would share this part because it shows kind of like a visual for you guys. So, what were the amounts? Well, 69,714,911 XRP at January 30th, 2024, 11:12 a.m. to a particular address, and then, other particular times for the course of January 30th, I guess into the wee hours of, depending on where you're at, right? Today/last night. So all that's there. Okay. So basically, getting more into this, you will see some other information that was posted, and I'm going to take you to there. Brad Garlinghouse responded to this as well, and I thought that was nice to see, of course, the CEO. So he has stated here, given some irresponsible speculation and reporting, he wants to reiterate that no Ripple managed wallets were compromised. Full stop. That's great. You need to hear from your head guy, right? BG doing it big. So that's a good thing. And of course, a lot of people are like, respond like, okay, mic drop, good. Shout out to Ted with Capital. A lot of you guys watch him. Absolutely grateful for the clarity. Transparency is vital to the XRP community. Yeah, you want to hear from the bigger players, right? All right. With that also said, I will give another shout to Ted. He has this. He says, wake up, my people. This also happened today, 1/31/2024, quote unquote, XRP hack. This is Navin Gupta about his resignation. Quote, Ripple is here to make a dent in the universe. Well, what's it say? Ripple is not an ordinary company. Quote, we are not here to make us have a small market share or make a small amount of money. We are here to make a dent in the universe. I even saw Tim Shea, you respond to this and so on. A lot of you guys did, right? So, yeah, there's Tim right there. XRP, the big dent in the universe. I mean, when you're the mayor of crypto, you're everywhere, right? So, some people are like, well, it's not looking too good. I'm just going to focus on this one particular thing. Hey, if you've done your research, we're going to be more than good. I'm not going to let this deny me from my future generational wealth. But at the end of the day, I just bring you guys news, and you got to do what's best for you. I get it. Maybe put more emphasis on other ones, but for me, I look at certain things maybe a different way. Some of you guys look at the same way, but here's what does interest me. I will count my blessings. I will count them one by one, and I will see what has happened with XRP as the price has come down into the 49-cent area. Buying opportunities. I think that this whole thing wasn't a massive, bad news event. Personally, that's just my opinion. But come on, guys, below 50 cents for XRP. I mean, when's the last time you really realistically saw that? It's been a while. It's definitely been a while. So just thought I'd point that out and share that, of course, with you guys. On top of that, we are going to close out that short XRP segment. What's next for the lineup tonight? and let me close out this thing, is Stellar. Now, it's shocking to see news 2 days in a row in regards to Stellar, but there was some big things that happened, and I thought I'd bring it to you guys. So we'll get into that in just a moment. And if anything, I will give a specific shout out to one particular individual. I don't know if he watches the live show, but his name is basically Mr. Ference. He states, give him credit. Tomorrow, big news by XLM. A lot of you guys have seen it anyway because it's posted on X. Shout out to also, Mr. Man, Spidey. We're going to get into all that here in a bit. We also have some XDC, BSV to get into. Let's kick it back to the comments, and then we will get into the Stellar coverage. Let's just see how well we're doing on the likes real quick because it does help. We are currently at 24 likes, 37 people watching. Do appreciate you guys tuning in. It does mean a lot. All right, double checking the other screen, seeing how we're doing. I think we're doing pretty well. And let's see here. All right. Kick it back to whatever questions you guys have. And let's see what it is. Okay. So the next one is Channing. He says, no problem, brother. Welcome all. Thank you for that. Cool Cat in the house. See if you have any specific questions or comments from OG Crypto. If Solana keeps shutting down all the time, forget it. That's a good point. Corey Bebe. Good evening, future crypto millionaires. As with you always, this is Corey Bebe to say, JASMY not the scam. Welcome back, Corey. All right. Cool Cat Crypto. Breaking news. Michael Saylor poops pants after Meta drops out. If you want to call it that. We will talk about the whole thing about the Meta, Facebook / Meta, where you want to call them that. I still call them Facebook. We have some news in that regard. Shout out to Satoshi. Rick Coxwell's back. Welcome back, Rick. Says hello to all. And you're losing your signal. That's not good. All right. Let's see here. You do think that Stellar's greater than XRP. You're not the only one that feels that way, but I like owning both. Let's welcome back Jack Thompson. Cool to see you. Welcome back. And what else we got? Cool Cat. Today just wasn't Mark Zuckerberg's day. Wow, looks it all day by Congress, then sealed the deal by dropping out of Copa lawsuit. Wow. All right. I do agree that's a large amount of XRP to be sitting in a personal wallet. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Okay. All right. What is this from Elon Muff? You guys got some interesting comments. All right. Anyway. All right. Let's kick it back to what we have. Let's just use this as a bookmark. All right, gonna get right now into the Stellar coverage. That was pretty quick, right? Let's pull this up for a second. There it is. So Stellar, what exactly is going on with Stellar, other than a rumor of Moneygram going live with Stellar tomorrow, right? Well, that's more than a rumor. We've been talking about this for a while. There's been a lot of things that have been happening that we covered since even late last year. So is there, things coming into fruition? I would say that they are. How so? Well, let's take you over, of course, to some of the research that we have for you guys tonight, some of the things were shared, posted, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to pull this up first, and here it is, straight from Mr. Man. Shout out to Mr. Man, good person, does a lot of great research. And here it is, and I do like this. Moneygram's non-custodial wallet. Hear this out for a second. Non-custodial wallet. The other day, what did we talk a lot about on the last show? We talked about, for instance, Hedera. We talked about Bank Social, right? And, self-custody wallet through, for instance, Bank Social. Bank Social is basically a credit union for crypto, doing things with TradeFi and also DeFi, right? But this is Stellar that we're talking about, and it is a different wallet, but it's not self custody or anything like that, right? This is non-custodial crypto wallet that's set to go live in the first quarter, of course, 2024, where we are in the first quarter of 2024. So is it really going to happen tomorrow? We'll have to wait and see. But like Mr. Man posted, this particular wallet will be built, of course, on the Stellar network and will allow users to leverage stablecoin tech to move between fiat and, of course, digital currencies. There'll be no charge to use it until June 2024. So why is that? Well, think about it. Have you not seen this already with other particular things out there? I think you have. You have to keep in mind that, you know, being able to give people an opportunity to try out the product before they just jump in is a good thing. Even I myself, I remember the days of, way back where even with video games, right? Everything had a price tag. And then we see things like League of Legends and stuff like that, where, play free to play, right? You don't put a price tag on it, but there's other things. You can sell the product. You get people addicted to the platform that they want more. I think this is a win-win, obviously. Give people a taste of that platform. And if they like the product, why wouldn't they come back? So the wallet itself will be built on the Stellar network. It will allow users to leverage, of course, stablecoin tech, like you mentioned before, to move between fiat and digital currencies. And there's, of course, a lot more to it, right? There's old Shaq getting excited. We're all excited. But I'm going to pull up this next thing. It's got a little brief video. Definitely want to share this with you. So this comes straight from Stellar itself. It's an official announcement. It says, when Danielle Dixon and, for instance, this particular person, Alex Holmes, who's the chairman and CEO of Moneygram, get together, we listen, right? It says, tune into Block by Block to hear about MoneyGram's journey from traditional remittances to a digital powerhouse. I'll give you this little sample. I've also went to the Stellar Development Foundation, try to see if there was any recent interview, especially when this comes to this whole thing for block to block. There is. I went ahead and fast forward to those key areas. But I'm going to give you a little taste of this for a second. So let's listen to this.
I'm annoyed here because I listen to all these blockchain crypto companies saying they're going to put us out of business and they're going to reinvent, currency and all these things. And then you've got the fiat world sort of pushing back and arguing. And then I suddenly thought, oh, what if we just sat nicely in the middle and you can interoperate and move things in between? And it's actually sort of, it's brilliant, actually, because at the end of the day, you can go off and compete in the blockchain world and the crypto space, and those companies can come and say they want to do this, that, and the other thing. I'm just trying to help support financial inclusion. I'm trying to help people move money home, right? We're experts in cross-border payments. And if digital technology is moving into the crypto world and that's going to become part of it, then I want to be part of that as well.
All right. I think it makes a good point. It's not like there's just only one that's going to get the job done. This is why I feel as though being well diversified is the way to go, but to each his own. I can respect different opinions and I agree with all of it, but he does make a good, valid point. Jumping more into this, let's also share this. And this is a thing that's going to have, in my opinion, one of the key highlights. Okay. Before we get more into this. So let's go ahead and share this as well. It's going to come up on your screen in just a moment. This is the thing I was talking about earlier, giving you that little brief taste of what's to come. Okay, so straight from the Stellar Development Foundation, technically posted on the 23rd, which was, a little over a week ago. But in this block by block discussion, it's Danielle Dixon and, of course, the CEO of Moneygram, Alex Holmes. Now, there's a lot more to be mentioned other than just a quick 45 seconds of what you just got. And I've decided to fast forward about this. Why? Because it's going to talk about this thing of what they refer to as opening up the network. Let's face it, guys. We are at that point right now. We are going to see, in my opinion, the start of some of this utility in motion. By making this whole thing a free platform or to try it out and not have, these fees yet until June. Say what you want. That was brilliant. I'm glad they went with that. Give people a chance to use it. As the saying goes, word of mouth can spread like wildfire. Listen what they got to say here. We're going to play this particular segment about opening up at the network, because you're going to hear it from the perspective of Donnell Dixon and also the CEO from Moneygram. And then we're also going to play this part about combining the two worlds. Like, yeah, Moneygram, Stellar. Like, how do they work hand in hand? You may already know about some of this stuff, but I guarantee you there's some things that you can learn that's beneficial to understand about the concept of utility in motion. Let the research speak for itself. Never financial advice. I just bring you guys information. Here we go.
Yeah. And so the thing that I find super interesting is that, and I remember like speaking to Anna and to you and to others about the APIs, and really, and Alicia, and getting those APIs like recharged internally, really changed the opportunity that you guys had to open up the network to all of these wallets, these digital wallets that were out there.
Yeah.
We think about it. I remember in one of our conversations, we talked about it as like, you know, you could be the AWS for these wallets, where you open up the whole thing, and that's what you guys did.
Yeah. No, I think the idea that you came back with when we re-engaged was initially, I think we thought about the Stellar adapter being a little bit more about remittance. And it was like, yeah, okay, I get that. But we just had a bad experience with a different company where we were like, this isn't really quite what we want to do. Because you also had some partners in Asia that were using XLM and trying to do a little bit of what we were seeing with the other guys. And so when I looked at that, it was like, and then you said, well, actually what I want to do is something slightly different, right? So I think it was, I don't know if it was your idea or someone on your team, but I'll give you the credit for it for now. You can distribute it later, but no, but the idea was I think to begin to bridge the two worlds. And, you know, I do give a lot of credit to that, because for me, that was a big light bulb moment. And it really said to me, yeah, you know what, like I'm annoyed here because I listened to all these blockchain crypto companies saying they're going to like put us out of business, and they're going to reinvent, you know, currency and all these things. And then you've got the fiat world sort of pushing back and arguing. And then I suddenly thought, well, what if we just sat nicely in the middle and you can interoperate and move things in between? And it's actually sort of, it's brilliant actually, because at the end of the day, you can go off and compete in the blockchain world and the crypto space, and those companies can come and say they want to do this, that, and the other thing. I'm just trying to help support financial inclusion. I'm trying to help people move money home, right? We're experts in cross-border payments. And if digital technology is moving into the crypto world and that's going to become part of it, then I want to be part of that as well. And so right now, I think the elegant solution that we came up with was to be, you know, the on and off ramps and take that as far as we could. And so that's been amazing.
Well, and I think that so much of it was that blockchain had historically, and I think actually Larry pointed out to me, Larry is the CFO of Moneygram, pointed out to me that on our own website, there was a point in there which was talking about Moneygram and how slow Moneygram was.
Yeah.
I went back and looked at that after the meeting, and I was like, oh, because my view was always that combining these two worlds, actually the traditional financial infrastructure, the physical stuff that's so hard to build that you guys have done over years and years and years, is the part that actually helps and supports the blockchain piece. Yeah. And there's a symbiotic relationship there for sure. But it wasn't that we were going to disrupt. It was that we were going to work together.
Yeah,
to
correct.
Create this.
Yeah. You actually came with that complete angle of we're going to work together, right? And that's what's lovely about the SDF is that you guys have that idea of spreading and promoting technology for financial inclusion and bettering the world, not to profit yourself from it directly in that sense. And so the idea from a competitive was to empower your wallets and your network to actually utilize our network, and vice versa. And I think that's extremely powerful.
And it's been so fun. We've been on that journey for just over a year.
Yep.
And then
I can't believe it's been it feels like forever, by the way. Like, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but it seems like it's been going on a lot longer than that.
I know. Well, there was I think it's because, I mean, we did build the adapter in 2019.
Yeah, that's
true. So
it
has been a while with the adapter, which we now don't call an adapter anymore. We call it the Moneygram access. So it's built on top of the adapter. It's always going to be the adapter
to me.
Me too. But then now we're in a different part of the journey.
Yes.
Now you guys have launched this really amazing thing.
Yeah. So again, another, I think, brain trust moment, getting together and talking about what we could do. And I think you guys had an idea to sort of challenge us, like, could we think about the way that money moves through the MoneyGram network more like an NFT? And I think that was the example we were using at the time. And actually, what's kind of funny is, you know, a lot of people ask me, like, why does MoneyGram exist, right? And I talk about that, and I always say because, you know, you got sovereign nations, banking is built for domestic rails, blah, 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 blah. And when you think about MoneyGram, it's like, we almost are a blockchain. Like, we're a disruptor in that sense. It's like, we're not on a blockchain, but we run our own ledger. We run our own transactions. We actually take money and hold it on behalf of consumers while it waits to get paid out on the other side, which we can instantaneously do. But it's like, what do you have? You have a reference number, and that's representation that you gave me money. It's going over here, and if you want it back, you can have it back. And if you want to give that to the other person, you give it to the other person. And it's very elegant in that sense, and it is in very much, you know, sort of like that concept that we've come up with. And so when we started talking about, you know, NFT or not, and I was like, and then I remember thinking, oh, we could launch our own coin, and then I'm like, maybe not yet. And then this idea came up around, you know, how about a non-custodial wallet? And we just make it as simple as possible. And I think we decided to just for now use USDC as the coin, but it becomes a representation of that money moving through the system. And I think what we launched with our non-custodial wallet is just, it's just amazing.
And it's really pretty. The user interface is really nice.
Yeah, well, I credit, you know, Alicia and the product team, but also, of course, Cheesecake Labs and your team for stepping up and really coming up with something cool. It was funny. My son is always on apps, and he's in college, and he's like, does the MoneyGram app have dark mode yet? And I'm like, no. And he's like, you know, like, if you want to be cool, you got to have dark mode. So I think the wallet is only dark mode, which is like awesome. I was like, oh, this is so cool.
It's really awesome. And to see that, I mean, just in the time that we've been working together, so the last 5 years almost, the transformation of and bridging that gap between the physical and the digital that you guys have gone through is remarkable under your leadership and with this amazing team that you have. And that transformation took a lot longer because you started earlier, but it's so awesome to see it happen.
Yeah.
And this is the part about that interoperability that we need to all understand, is that working together, we can actually solve these problems very differently. And I am so excited about you guys launching that one.
No, absolutely. No, I thank you very much. And you know, I credit your team for all their leadership and vision. And you guys push us pretty hard on customer experience. You push us really hard on sort of issues that come up along the way. And that's really helped shift. I mean, the partnership with UNHCR, I mean, you know, that wouldn't, you know, exist without your leadership. And, you know, I'm proud of that relationship as well. But when I drop back and think about what we've built, it's so basic, but also so elegant and so cool. And the use cases now that we can put forward as we get new legislation, as we get more clarity on different laws and different markets, we can do some remarkable things with it as well, and really actually interoperate specifically for money transfers, interoperate between cryptocurrencies. We can get to the point perhaps where we can do our own coin and, you know, custody and do some other things. And those are maybe a little bit down the road, but we're on the right path, I think, to really continue to drive digital transformation, innovation. And the beneficiary of that should be all these migrants around the world that, you know, work so hard to get money back home. And when the money's home, they want to know that it's there. They want to know that it's safe, you know, and that's huge. And if you can give someone, you know, a stable coin or something that represents value without the worry about going to a physical location, or it's in a bank account, or losing value because the market's fluctuating, I think is really powerful stuff.
And one of my favorite things about this is the fact that you now have that relationship through the MGO, through your digital wallet, and through the online presence, and then also through this wallet. You have that relationship with the consumer that you had before, but it was intermediated with the agent all the time.
Correct.
And this now is like game changing.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. It is. It's like really sort of releases us to do MoneyGram sort of at scale globally, which is awesome to think about. But at the same time, you know, that agent network, as you pointed out, I mean, it becomes so much more valuable too, because now you're saying you're part of the future. And when you think about who our agent partners are in these markets, I mean, these are local providers. Sometimes they're local post office, sometimes they're local banks, but a lot of local retailers, a lot of local small mom and pop, they're living in their country. They're employing a lot of people, right? Revenue coming into them, continued operations means a big difference to them between survival and not survival. And so, you know, the more that we can continue to value that network, the more value that they generate for their country. So, and that's really what it's all about. So,
yeah, I mean, the physical part is the part that you guys have really, really nailed. The digital part you're going into, and it's amazing to watch it. So thank you so much, Alex, for being here. And thanks so much for the partnership.
Absolutely. Thank you. Really, really appreciate it.
Okay. It was really cool to listen to some of that. And I know that, it seems like it's a lot to take in. For me, one of my key takeaways I want to mention to you guys basically is when you heard Alex, right, the CEO from MoneyGram, he was saying in the future to release a coin. And if you think about this, right, we have outlined the significance in regards to what Stellar has recently put out. You saw that regulatory, I guess you could say, blueprint through a white paper here recently. We did a deep dive in that regard, the significance about and so on. But it outlines, if you will, like this whole thing of the pathway forward for regulations and all these types of things. So, when we talk about pairings, I always would talk about that a lot when it came to Japan and JASMY, but this is Stellar that we're talking about. So the way I look at it is, for instance, USDC obviously would be a pairing, but in the future, especially when it comes to Stellar being recognized from the World Bank and also XRP as global stable coins, we get that regulations. Everything is basically, laid out and passed through legislation, as he pointed out. Well, what about also having, for instance, a pairing of, like your XLM with, for instance, MoneyGram? Now, in the past, people used to always point out when it came to MoneyGram, like, not that big of a deal. They're not going to specifically use Stellar XLM. It's just mainly going to be USDC and so on. But when you also see all this other research that, yeah, you want to know something? It's not the first time that we've seen the native token have pairings. I think a perfect example is what you're seeing right now with Bank Social. And we did talk about this yesterday. Hedera with Saucer Swap, you have the pairing of Hedera's native token as an HBAR. And what does it say, guys? When you go to Bank Social, that the top one, as far as volume and trading right now, is basically your HBAR/BSL pairing. So are we so oblivious to the notion that, in the future, an actual coin of MoneyGram paired up with something like XLM? Because if that's the case, then now it's like, wow, okay, that caught my attention. That's not just utility in motion. That is mass adoption towards utility in motion. And the other significant thing I want to point out is basically that you will see a period of time between this release that's coming out for MoneyGram going live with Stellar, right? Between hopefully sometime in February till June, where a lot of people get to try out, as the saying goes, to service the product. And then so from there, you get a lot of people already used to it, messing around with it, sending money to your loved ones, people overseas, and so on. And then it's like, okay, what's the next thing on this pathway forward for this journey? Well, it's kind of like what Alex said, the CEO. So I do feel as though MoneyGram has always stood out as far as mass adoption. And now you kind of have a taste of things to come. Now, for some people, they're like, oh, that's just speculative. But for the first time, you're actually hearing straight from, like a CEO, Alex himself, mentioning this. So is that so much of speculation, or is that understanding the bigger picture? Now, next thing I want to get into is another thing in regards to MoneyGram, Stellar, and so on. And let's go ahead and share this on your screen. You guys should be familiar with this lady. She is Anuya. She is from basically, Sorbonne, right? She's always in the interviews. One thing that I want to point out in that regard is some of these new things that are happening with Stellar. Let's face it, we're in luck to be able to cover Stellar 2 days in a row. Usually we can only cover it like maybe once, twice a week if we're lucky, not 2 days in a row. So there's a lot of momentum that's going on in regards to Stellar. But she states, kicking off the Techstars, which is, like it says, the world's most active pre-seed investor, times MoneyGram, times Stellar, or class of 2024. What exactly is this? And when was it posted? Well, yesterday. But taking you over to this is from Techstars, and it does mention that they have this thing about these payments powered by Stellar and MoneyGram. on how they announced some of these key things, the excitement about it. But your key takeaway should be the announcement of 12 startups selected for the second class of Techstars payments program. While we were all excited about, for instance, Sorbonne going from 40 plus projects going live on, mainnet, then scaling up to over 100, and that's impressive. Also need to mention these. Like it says, these promising early stage companies are focused on innovative fintech solutions addressing gaps across the payments infrastructure. This program is the first Techstars accelerator to have a physical presence in Latin America. We'll be running a hybrid program, spending 1 week in Dallas, Mexico City, and so on, even Miami. But these startups will be supported by, of course, their amazing partners, which is Stellar and especially MoneyGram. The two organizations itself did come together, and they saw an incredible opportunity to build a robust payments and fintech ecosystem, of course, Latin American and other emerging markets. Look at this quote for a second. We search high and low for the grittiest founders and the most disruptive financial technologies that can solve real-world problems for businesses and consumers. Not, oh, this is just your average run-of-the-mill type thing. Oh, it's not that big of a deal. Who said this? Managing Director Trisha Martinez. Quote, our 12 portfolio companies for Techstars, payments, by the way, are disrupting the way we think about finance. From how we transact to a person to see, for example, how we save our loved ones with, how business is built, credit, giving people access to what they didn't have access before, right? So here's the 12 in regards to this 2024 class, if you want to call it that. Of course, powered by Stellar and MoneyGram. And that part is crucial because we're not talking specifically about just Sorbonne. Back to the whole thing of what do we have at hand right now? Well, here they are. Cash Abroad. It's a payments platform for Latin American countries exploring and importing businesses. That sounds like utility in motion. DPay, providing easy to integrate interoperable crypto payment infrastructure, allows payment processors and gateways to accept crypto as a new payment method. Again, Stellar's mission to give access to the unbanked or people that just never had that type of access before. Now, there's a lot that's being mentioned here. I'll give another key highlight to this one. Guama, credit card for Latin America's underbanked population. Going down to this particular one, Retorna, revolutionizing finance for 43 million underserved migrants in Latin America with secure, affordable transfers. Again, giving people incentives to use your platform for specific reasons. For those reasons, maybe because it's a lot faster, more efficient. You get your money, you don't get hit with big fees. You don't have to have, checking, savings account, stuff like that. Say what you want. People will talk about it. Going more into this, Xena, also for migrant workers and digital nomads who are underbanked. Again, guys, key focus is underbanked, the people that just don't have access. They provide multi-currency wallet, credit card that enables them to make seamless day-to-day payments. So there's a whole bunch of other things mentioned here. It's definitely worth pointing out. In conclusion, before we wrap up tonight's stellar coverage, I want to point out some key things in regards to my own research. Techstars, the payments in regards to that, of course, powered by Stellar and, of course, MoneyGram. Now, they did announce this 2024 class, but at the end of the day, why is this significant to you and I? This is just a bunch of academic jargon. Is it just a nothing burger, as you guys would say? Well, what stood out for me in regards to two specific things, and that is, of course, with Stellar and MoneyGram in regards to this, is the specific announcement about how this was powered by Stellar and, of course, MoneyGram. As far as the benefits go, how does it really truly benefit Stellar? Great question. Four main key things I decided to get more into with my research, and that was the pathway forward towards increased adoption. At the end of the day, for all of us who are Stellar holders, isn't that the point? Yes. This program specifically focuses on fintech solutions, of course, in Latin America. And as we know, that is a specific region that does have growing interest in blockchain, DLT, but for specifically payments. By supporting startups utilizing Stellar's technology, the program can drive adoption of the Stellar network for cross-border and even domestic transactions. That's good. Being able to enable countries, domestically speaking as well, to empower them is a great thing because they will realize that it's not just what El Salvador is doing with, I hate to say, garbage BTC. How about talent and innovation? Well, before we get into talent, listen to this. This collaboration with these specific startups can foster the development of new and innovative use cases for, of course, Stellar, expand its capabilities, push boundaries in regards to the specific technology that, of course, we know that Stellar brings to the table in a very unique way. Now, back to the whole topic about talent. Hear me out. The program itself accesses or gives access to promising fintech talent, of course, in these specific regions. You know your geography, there's quite a few different Latin American countries. And of course, Stellar can potentially track and nurture these particular countries and their citizens to use the platform for future partners and employees to get towards that pathway forward for mass adoption. It also creates brand awareness. Again, say what you want, but word of mouth is a real thing. It's probably one of the best ways to advertise if you ever did anything in regards to business or just been around for a while, right? By partnering with established players like Moneygram and this new thing, which is Techstars, this will increase Stellar's visibility and credibility, of course, within the fintech industry. We kind of understand that for the most part. All right, that's Stellar. At the end of the day, we got to recognize what's going on with Moneygram. Well, 4 key things in regards to Moneygram. You have to keep in mind, this is early stage access. So you got to treat it as though that this is kind of like, I would say, because I'm a gamer, I haven't played since September, but kind of like your beta. This is like an open beta, right? And if anything, you're not charging people until sometime mid-June, fees basically. So this early stage access, MoneyGram gains early exposure to promising fintech startups with the potential to disrupt the payments landscape. Disrupt the payments landscape? Who's also trying to do this? Ripple. Let's face it, there's other ones like BSV and so on, but they're all competing. Do you have ones in which already have the mainstream partnerships? Well, the answer is yes. Stellar with MoneyGram. This benefit for MoneyGram does allow them to identify potential partners or acquisition targets. That's game changer because it positions themselves to have a one-up on the competition. That's a reality. What about technological advancements? Well, this specific collaboration with startups can very well help MoneyGram integrate new technologies and improve their own services, which, by the way, is going to make them more efficient and, of course, like we mentioned before, competitive. Say what you want to see them compete. That's the way it goes. Will there be market expansion? And if so, how will that benefit the likes of MoneyGram? By supporting solutions focused on Latin American countries, this will align itself with MoneyGram's strategic approach towards expansion and, of course, brighten their presence in the world, especially in this growing market, but especially when it comes to Latin America. Say what you want, who is another industry player that has a lot of focus when it comes to Latin America. It's Quant Network with what? LackChain. Is there going to be a social impact in regards to this? Well, say what you want. That example that Alex gave in regards to, hey, my son was playing around with the app and it has dark mode, and I thought that was pretty awesome. Well, there will be a social media presence. And that social impact is huge because by supporting financial inclusion initiatives, MoneyGram itself can enhance its brand image and contribute to positive social change. Why? Because it could give countless examples of the people that are affected. And if you do interviews with some of these people and say, hey, this is how this is benefiting our village or our farm or my family, you get the gist. Finally, to wrap things up, in conclusion, the Techstars payments program does seem to be a win-win not only for Stellar, but for MoneyGram as well. It has the potential to drive innovation, adoption, and also market expansion for both entities, while also contributing to the development of fintech ecosystem, of course, in Latin America. So with that said, I think this is huge. You're finally getting an idea of where this comes into fruition. For people who haven't done their proper research, let's face it, what are they doing right now in regards to what they're posting on X and other platforms? Stellar doesn't move. Yeah, nothing is going to move unless you get to the point of mass adoption through an actual utility that has been put forth into motion. I always use this analogy. I used to do it back in the days when I was teaching at school. Picture yourself basically like at a farmland. You have all this equipment, and while that equipment can be put to good use, you have to have people utilizing, of course, those particular things. You know, crops don't get treated right without the help of people doing the actual work. If anything, things just sit there and collect rust and dust. But now you have this whole thing with MoneyGram. And for this thing to be going live here soon with Stellar, I think it's a big deal. But even when it goes live tomorrow or next week or wherever the case be, understand that it doesn't necessarily mean it'll go parabolic instantly. But if you know what you have and you know why you hold it and you've done a lot of research, you will come to the conclusion that you will be glad that you held Stellar, because guess what? It's one of the standout ones that can bring you a significant amount of life-changing money for, let's face it, your portfolio. Don't get fudded out. Stay the course. That's all I can say. So with that said, that concludes the Stellar coverage. The next bit of coverage we have is a brief segment in regards to XDC, and then we'll kick it over to BSV. All right, let's get back into the comments. So with that said, let's take this off for a second. Let's get back to what we have. I think we have somebody from BSV had a comment. The real newspaper with daily news. BSV is all we need. That might be very well true, but the way I look at it is I like being diversified, but everybody's going to do what they got to do, and I respect that. Let's welcome the real newspaper. All right, going further down to the comments, I saw that you guys had a kind of like your own conversation with Elon Musk and people like that. And the real newspaper says, excuse me, pretty sure Troy Money tried Stellar, then came to BSV. Well, okay. Let's see here. Let's go further down. Dracaris. Well, okay. You're probably a fan of like Game of Thrones and so on. That's cool. No need for XLM. These folks say nothing. You'll know nothing, and you'll be happy. You will eat the bugs. Well, we do appreciate different opinions. I may not agree with everything you say, and that's okay. But I'd like to welcome you, Dracaris. Please welcome all newcomers. Maybe you watch the show on a regular. I don't know. Maybe you're only here for the BSV, and that's okay. But we do welcome you. Blah, 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 scammers. Difference of opinion. That's okay. Tim Shea. Oh, because BSV, I heard a rumor he has a big bag. Let's go further down. Who's this? This is the one and only Don't Pay for Coinbase 1 from Squid the 5th. There's 4 other ahead of you. Squid, we're here to let you know Coinbase 1 support sucks. You know what? Have a great day. Oh, that sucks that you had a bad experience. Interesting. All right. Let's go further down. And okay, I think you made your point, Mr. Dracaris, but that's okay. Let's see here. Tim Shea, 10 ETH is a decent amount. You can trade for a nice bag of utility coins. And let's see. Let's also go further down. Let's also welcome the one and only Mr. Boomer Afasooner. Thank you for being here, Boomer. Welcome back. Brad Mills is in the house. Oh, wow. The lights came back on. I wasn't sure where I was at. LOL. What the heck? Well, I'm glad that the this show loaded up for you, but That's interesting. Always got to pay your light bill, you know. So people, I guess, are paying out using too much crypto, you know, being crypto broke. I'm not saying crypto broke, but I've seen this example before. Got to keep the lights on. All right. That's, you know, those things. I don't know. Maybe you think JASMY's also scammer. All right. Tim Shea, Jack, Cool Cat likes BSV and Cosmos. Yes, he does. Cat also thinks XLM is best ISO. Very cool. Let's read some other comments. Boomer says he has a few JASMY ISP. So you're really gung-ho on ISP? That's cool. All right. Let's see what else we got up in the house. Brad. Hey, fellow coworker. Brad, how you doing, man? How's it going? Well, thanks for being here, Brad. All right. And what else we got up in this mug? OG Crypto. BSV is dynamite. BSV will win the fight. BSV, watch me explode because I'm who? I'm OG Crypto. That is right. He is in the house. Shout out to the Crypto Homes 777. I think I welcomed you before, though. All right. Jack Thompson. I do believe very good thumbs up idea. BSV. Is there a way using my debit card to buy the elusive BSV? Yeah. Go to buy.bsv.live, I think it is. And you have to make sure you have, of course, a wallet like CentB or something like that. There's some other ones. If you don't want to do that route, I guess another thing you could do is, I don't know if it's on MEXC, I can't remember, but you could do KuCoin if you already had an account, of course. If you didn't, if you weren't grandfathered, then that's another case. But you can send USDT, and then you could swap it to that particular one, and then, of course, get it off there, send, you know, somewhere else. So, but yeah, I just mentioned that. Yeah, there you go. All right. What else we got? Swapping through Rockwell. That's another one. Yep, that's a good point. Vibra Finance. Welcome, welcome. We'll kick it back into the outline here in a bit. And what else we got up in here? What up, bro? What up? What up? OG Crypto. He agrees. He wish he had 10. Well, how much is that? 10,000 right now. He'd probably buy that in BSV. DOT would make me a millionaire probably. Oh, Polkadot. Okay. We're going to do now is kick it back to the outline. Double check the other screen, see how we're doing. I don't think I've missed anything. Let's also welcome the one and only Mr. Richie Rich, who's in the house. All right. Glad to have you, man. Richie Rich. Okay. So just a brief segment about XDC. Let's pull this up. Pull up the branding as well. Here we go. And it's been a while since talked about XDC. I know Cool Cat's not a big fan of XDC anymore, but you know, there's other people that still have it, like myself. On top of that, Salamander, quite a few of us, right? So, do we have anything solid in that regard? Well, we do. Let me clear out some tabs real quick. And yep, let's pull it up. All right. So here it is, straight from Zenfin. Why does basically XDC partner with, of course, Tangent? Like for some of you guys, it's like, who the heck is Tangent? Well, Tangent is a cold hardware crypto, you know, bank card, secure as a bank vault. Sounds interesting. You know, we talked about other particular competitors out there, but why does this stand out in regards to Zenfin? Well, here's everything you need to know about that and why it's significant. So look what it says. Tangent is revolutionizing the way we store our digital assets by offering a hardware wallet that prioritizes top-notch security, user-friendliness, accessibility, yada, yada, right? It's got a self-custodial experience. But at the end of the day, how does it work and is it safe? It's a good question. Getting more into this is kind of a thread. I'm going to show some of this. There's only a few more points. Tangent Wallet is a crypto hardware wallet designed, I should say, as a bank card. It has a secure element chip that generates and stores private keys offline. With this specific Tangent Wallet, users can buy, send, receive, swap, do all the good things, right? Thousands of coins and tokens securely. They even have this thing called Tangem mobile app. It does use near field communication, NFC technology, allowing you to sign blockchain transactions offline. I mean, you guys have seen some of this stuff, right? Is there anything to make it stand out a little bit more? Well, yes. So here's some characteristics. You can do a smart backup. Tangem uses smart backup technology to create copies of the private keys on 2 or more or 3 cards to avoid creating a seed phrase that users might accidentally expose. I like this because this is what makes it stand out. You mean, say what you want, like I think it was OG Crypto point out, hey, I don't like Dyor having the power to take or give back. Well, how about not even having that whole issue to begin with, by not even having to do anything in regards to seed phrases? I mean, whether you're for seed phrases or not, I mean, let's face it, for some people, they look at it as a giant pain. I'm not going to get in that big old rabbit hole and go, debate that. But it's interesting to see some of this stuff. It's weather resistant. I don't want to get into all that. I mean, it's fine. But it does have a simple setup. And it says that you can use this particular wallet in which you can get it all done in 3 minutes. I mean, say what you want. I mean, I like my decent wallet, but it didn't take 3 minutes to set that up. It took me about like 45 minutes, to be honest, because I want to do it the right way. I wanted to write down everything. I want to keep a copy of like a backup seed phrase and, store that in a unique place. You name it, right? But look what it says. You just have to tap the card on your phone after 3 minutes, download the Tangem app, follow instructions in the app. EAL6 Plus Secure Tangem chip contains a certified chip design in collaboration with Samsung Semiconductors. Wow, that sounds impressive. This chip has the highest chip security standard, protecting from any invasive and non-invasive attacks. So it doesn't sound like it's your everyday run-of-the-mill type of, hardware wallet, right? Getting more into this, here's the actual Tangem site. They have about 75,000 followers. I mean, some people will say, well, anybody can do that. But the point is, they do have regular updates. They're, of course, delighted to give you some of these updates. But here's some of the white cards. And it's just, again, kind of like a visual. Very thin, easy to use. Pull right out of your wallet, your actual wallet, right? Other people doing reviews about this. Best hardware wallet 2024. I'm actually going to watch more about this. This comes from DeFi Rebels. Some of you guys watch that show. A lot of guys that are in this space do a good job of reviewing some of these products. So look more into it if you choose to do so. And in my research, there's of course a few things I wanted to get into in regards to the significance about all this. So Tangem XDC. From what we gathered, it's not just your typical run-of-the-mill, like, oh, okay, another hardware wallet. Ooh, big deal, right? Well, keep in mind, while there's nothing officially mentioned in regards to the partnership announcement between XDC and Tangem, there are significant developments pointing towards, of course, their integration. I am more leaning towards it's a solid partnership. Come on. So back in December, if you've been following this at all, this isn't, new or old news or new news to you. In December, there was an initiative announced in regards to Tangem's Winter Blockchain Marathon. It did include XDC, and it also included 5 blockchains planned for integration this winter. Let's face it, we're still in that winter. It's not spring yet. But it did mean that Tangem wallet users will soon be able to securely store, send, and receive, and even swap XDC. How cool is that? Built, of course, on the XDC network directly on their Tangem cards. So I'm leaning towards that's a real thing. I mean, why go through all the trouble of this if it wasn't a real thing? What about the increased accessibility to all this? Well, adding XDC to Tangem wallet opens up XDC, of course, to a wider audience. Again, the whole point of mass adoption. Tangem's cards offer user-friendly cold storage solution, but the main thing is it does not require for you to be super technical savvy. We talk about mass adoption. I mean, you also got to have people, let's face it, that are not good with this stuff, or maybe this is the first time they ever got into crypto. I like that. What stands out in regards to this a little bit more? 3 main key things. It's simply convenient. I mean, say what you want. We were talking about, for instance, some of these other ones, right? What was it? I can't even think of that particular one. But there was another hardware wallet, right, that had like 3 form factor, and they boasted that, this was the answer to all wallets, and no, it wasn't, because it didn't have a big selection of, cryptos to put on it, right? So a lot of people didn't go with that particular one. I think it starts with an A. I forgot the name. It's been a while. But being able to store and manage XDC, because we're talking about XDC, directly on a physical card does offer convenience and, of course, ease of use compared to traditional software wallets. Yeah. Like me, myself, I mean, nothing against people who use like MetaMask. I don't use MetaMask anymore. Like, I don't. I've seen so many cases where people have gotten hacked on that. I would never use it as far as a plugin on my desktop version. No way. But my point is, this is a direct answer, even towards traditional. This is way more secure from what I gathered, because it has these secure chips. It does provide the whole thing offline storage for XDC, and it's considered more secure than, of course, even some of the specific online wallets that we know. Now, of course, I'm not trying to shill this. I'm not paid by them or anything, but it did make news. The other thing I like about this is also the accessibility. This integration can introduce XDC, of course, to that wider base that we all want to accomplish, who might be hesitant about, of course, even traditional crypto wallets. Like, oh, this is too big of a deal. I remember when I first started out in altcoins, I mean, it can be very, very intimidating, to say the least. So you got to keep in mind, this is still like an early development. This whole integration is very, very new. Let's face it. But it's also worth mentioning that XDC is included, of course, in Tangent's Winter Blockchain Marathon, like we pointed out before. And, the future plans are yet to be seen, but everything that was listed here recently points towards, yeah, this is a solid partnership. I'm going to lean towards that. So anyway, that's what's going on with that. We're going to conclude the XDC coverage. That's it for XDC, obviously. Let's get into the next part of what we have here in a bit. Let's kick it back to the comments, and then we have BSV to wrap up the night. And speaking of BSV, tomorrow we have a very special guest. He is Mr. Michael Middleton. And so I'm just going to, before I kick into the comments, you guys might have saw a notification for that live show. I'm going to share what that looks like here in a bit. And I even have a thumbnail, all that stuff for it. So here it is. Let's pull this up for a second. And there you see it. It says from BTC to BSV with special guest Michael Middleton. From it says a Satoshi millionaire's journey with special guest. Yeah, Michael Middleton. He's going to share a lot of key things. It's going to be a kind of like a little bit of a different format of a show. The main emphasis is the guest. It's him. He has been into BTC since 2013, and then he's now all in on, I should say all in, but like, he's into some other things as well. But the point is BTC to BSV, okay? And he wants to share his insights and his research and some key things. I think it's going to be a great show. It's been a while since we've had a guest on the show. We've never had a guest on this particular platform. It was on the old channel. So I'm excited about it. Hopefully you're excited about it. You want to come in. He's going to bring a lot from what I gathered, and share his insights and so on. And I think that's very cool. He's also been a special guest on, what's his name? Gavin's channel. I think you guys know who that is. I don't know for sure, but basically speaking, is that guy that some of you guys say, he looks like a surfer, right? But basically, yeah, I mean, he's been on, Gavin Mel, if I'm pronouncing it right, or Mel. He's the guy that has that. You guys call him a Smurf and stuff. I don't know why, but yeah, we share some of the coverage last week in regards to Gavin, and I might be a guest on Gavin's show with Satoshi simultaneously. I don't know, but it's something he messaged me about. So I'm looking forward to some of these things, and I hope that you are looking forward to it as well. All right, let's kick it back to the comments. We need to get into it. And yeah, let's just double check real quick. How are we doing on the likes real quick? Get this thing out to a broader base. So we're currently at 41 likes with 38 people watching. That's not bad. Thank you very much. Okay, so who's next in the comments? And do we have anything on the other screen? I think we do, but maybe we don't. Nope, nothing on the other screen. All right. So it is Cool Cat Crypto. He says 2 BSV might be worth more than you think in the future. That's a good point. And you guys are having some back and forth conversations. That's fine. Let's see if we have anything. Let's see here. All right. Try to see anything. Kind of rapid fire going through some of this stuff. JASMY is an ERC20 based scam token. So you probably also think that, let's just be honest, you probably think Quant is just an ERC20 token. That's all it is. All right. Let me ask you something, Jokeris. All right. What research have you done to support those claims other than looking at a chart? I would like to know. I would really like to know what research you have done in regards to JASMY that made you come to the conclusion that it's just scam. ERC20 scam. Okay. Thank you. All right. Let's go further down. We got Brad Mills. He got 14 different hardware wallets. Wow. Just to try them all out. That's crazy. I don't mean that in a bad way, but I mean, like, that's crazy. I never heard anybody having 14 different ones. I've heard people like myself. I have, like 2, but I've seen other people like have maybe 3 or 4, like, but not to the point of like 14. My God. That was the one I was trying to come up with, Arculus. Yeah, that one seemed like it was going to be really convenient. I remember they did a big ad campaign last year. But what I didn't like about it is like, come on, give me a break. I mean, there's not that much of a selection there. So, yeah. Decent Aleppo, I don't know. Tomato. Was there another XRP hack? No, we talked about that earlier. Brad Garlinghouse addressed it as well. It's at the beginning of the show if you want to rewind. Or if you don't, that's okay too. BSV Stacker, welcome back. Just imagine Ripple and BSV join forces together. That's a good point. All right, sorry about that. Titan, Arculus, Tangem, Ripple, Secux. Interesting name. Ledger, X, Ledger Nano. Okay. Oh, Trezor. I heard a lot of the good things about Trezor, believe it or not. That's good to have it spread out. I mean, I guess that would probably be some criticism that I would probably have. Like, hey, you want to be extra safe, have it spread out, right? Okay. Let's go further down. We got Hamish. Hi, Max. Thanks again. You're welcome. Glad to have you back, Hamish. We also got Mo Miller in the house. Welcome. Let's just welcome a couple more of you guys and say goodnight to Jack. You take it easy, Jack. XXI Gaming's in the house. Brandon, thanks for coming back. I actually use those. I've had a great experience, but Max is right. They've been adding more, though, over time. That's good. So you have been using Arculus. That's cool. Right on. Yeah, that's one thing that appealed to me was like, it seemed like it's really easy to use, not having to jump through all the hoops because, I mean, it is a kind of a turnoff for a lot of people when it comes to cold storage. I mean, cold storage is the perfect case of, a catch-22. You can't have your cake and eat it too. And that's what stood out for me when it comes to Arculus. I was like, well, maybe now I can. And the answer is not exactly, because they still don't have a lot of selections of all the ones I have. So it is what it is. But I'll have to check up more on them in the future to see what they've added within the last year. They've had to add at least 10 or 20 or more, right? Absolutely. Will it give Cat a headache? Interesting. Just me no scam. It's kind of funny when you call. I'm not making fun of this guy. I'm just saying, like, I didn't mention that, and every single time I try to call somebody out and say, and I don't mean disrespectfully. I'm not a person that does that. I don't really go after people. Okay. But I have mentioned this before to people about, like, can you provide research? And it's always crickets. Why is that? Why is that? I don't know. Maybe because, some of these guys are like, well, I got better things to do. Well, I don't know. I'm just saying. I mean, I would like somebody to provide solid research to back up the claim. That's all. That's all it is. All right. Enough about me talking about JASMY scam. Let's get into BSV no scam, right? Yeah. Let's do it right now. Let's pull up the branding for BSV. It's not going to be a super long segment tonight. Tomorrow's segment, I'm just going to be honest, guys. Tomorrow, you might as well call it the BSV show. For real. We never done anything like that. Special guest, Michael Middleton. Tomorrow is literally the BSV show because, we probably won't be talking about anything other than that because he is a special guest. He is the highlight. It's not Maximus. I mean, you guys freaking see me all the time anyway. I think this guy's gonna really bring it. I'm not sure. Maybe if he's watching, he's probably like, "Dang, man, you're buttering me up too much." I honestly think if you've been into this whole crypto thing since 2013, and then he's into Stellar and some of these other things I think he mentioned, and some of the ISOs, but not as gung ho about BTC compared to BSV, and he's gonna share those reasons why. I'd be wanting to pay attention to that, even if I didn't watch these shows. Like I was just an average run-of-the-mill guy who just wanted to learn a little bit more about crypto. That'd be interesting to me. So again, yes, that is a plug, a promotion for tomorrow. And I'll be at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. It won't be delayed by 15 minutes. We'll start right on time. Okay. Please bring your standout questions to him. Also, please be respectful. Do not attack the person, which is him, or me for that matter. Attack the argument. Big difference. Always keep it polite, respectful. Pretend it was like you're going to, I don't know, your loved one's house, and you want to keep it civil. Well, I always do that. Oh, whatever. You get what I'm saying. All right. This is not Thanksgiving dinner and talking about politics, right? Anyway, enough about that. Let's kick it back to what we have. We are an hour and 17 minutes into the show, 42 people here, so I do appreciate you. If you're just tuning in, it is going to be BSV. And let's just pull this up. So what do we legitimately have tonight in regards to all of the specific research? Well, we have a lot. And so we're going to get into this. And it does say breaking news. So gives me an excuse to do something a little fun. All right. Yeah. So here it is. And that got messed up. What the heck? All right. Do have some breaking news to report. It is in regards to Meta, formerly known as Facebook. What is this about? How is it connected to BSV? Well, take a look into it yourself. Shout out to Satoshi, Ryushi, some of these other guys who originally reported on this. So Satoshi retweeted this, and like you see here, breaking: Meta, formerly known as Facebook, is no longer part of the list of Copa members. I think that is a big deal, right? But how so? Well, when you look into it, I decided, well, I'm going to open this up more. And in the process of doing so, I came to the conclusion that, interesting. Because if you went to the Copa site, which some of you guys do, I imagine somebody like Cool Cat and some of the other guys, you will come to the conclusion that, yeah, the big elephant in the room is no longer there. How do we know that? Well, they're just not there. They were there, right? Talking about Meta, aka Facebook. They're not there no more. Interesting. Did you verify this, Max? Well, of course. I need to verify things, especially when it comes to BSV, because let's face it, sometimes, especially I think a couple weeks ago, I was like, oh my gosh, guys, check this out. Big, huge news in regards to, BSV being potentially selected as one that Elon Musk is considering. Guess what? That guy that provided that news outlet for that, wow, that was not accurate. So I pull it from the channel. Yeah, there are people watching, getting lots of views, new subs. No, can't do that. I'm not going to do that. I won't do that. So I pulled it. So the way I look at it was like, need to find out more information. So what about this? Do we have more information? Yeah, here it is. You go straight to opencrypto.org/members. You can verify it for yourself. It's not a doctored up image. It's a real McCoy. And it is missing. Yeah, it is missing. And it was there, and it's not there anymore. So why is old Max and some of these other guys pointing some of this stuff out? Well, say what you want. Meta is a huge, centralized, right, data marketplace. Probably one of the biggest ones that stand out. When we talk about JASMY being a decentralized data marketplace for the future, you know, what they're doing with not just data democracy, finance democratization, you name it. Well, when we talk about, for instance, GAFA, right, that's part of the mix. Google, Amazon, Facebook, and Apple. So what I want to point out to you guys is this. While Meta is no longer part of this list of Copa members, since Copa is technically the Crypto Open Patent Alliance, if you're wondering what that stood for, what's so significant about this? And will Facebook, yes, Facebook, aka Meta, will they choose BSV? Will they? Or is that just being too speculative? Well, let's talk about this a bit. So, Meta is definitely no longer listed, as we saw in regards to the Crypto Open Patent Alliance, as of January 30th, 31st, give or take. While the exact reason for the departure, of course, is unknown, it has, of course, sparked speculation about their future involvement in the blockchain space, particularly regarding their potential adoption of, BSV. You know, some people say, they're going to go with BSV. We don't know that. And some people have also stated, well, have they ever took a chance on anything else? Their answer is also yes on that. We'll get to that in a bit. But let's talk about what we do know so far. And what we do know so far is there's probably some significant reasons for Facebook leaving Copa. Two main things I want to talk about with you guys tonight, and that is this. Reduced industry collaboration. Copa itself did aim to foster collaboration and innovation within the blockchain industry by creating a shared patent pool. True. However, Meta's departure does seem to weaken this collective effort and could potentially hinder future cross-industry cooperation. Let's face it, sometimes when it comes to things, people look at things as guilty as, by association. People will either associate or disassociate themselves just with a simple move of what is Mark Zuckerberg doing, right? It does allow this whole thing of shifting their priorities. Is Mark Zuckerberg and Meta shifting their priorities? Well, I don't know that yet, but this exit might very well indicate a shift in their blockchain priorities. And this might very well cause a focus on internal development and exploring alternative patent strategies. Of course, they're outside of what Copa, offers. I think that's very true. I think that's actually what's going on, but I don't have an answer. All right. These two things, because you guys want to talk about this, and so we will talk about this. And if anything, maybe tomorrow when Michael Middleton is here, maybe he has something solid about this. Does it sound legitimate or too speculative to say that in light of what's happened, there would be a possible adoption of BSV, especially for Facebook? Possibly. But you got to keep in mind, if you look into both, I think that this is in alignment with BSV's goals because BSV promotes a specific vision of Bitcoin, true, and it does emphasize an adherence to the original Bitcoin protocol without scaling changes, right? If Meta aligns, of course, with this specific vision of what Bitcoin is trying to do, stay true to the original Bitcoin, then you have to keep in mind BSV could be its potential choice. Some people say, it is the choice. It's got to be the choice because of real, true scalability. Nothing else comes close. And I'd be with you on that. Nothing does come close whatsoever to the actual utility of BSV, and especially when it comes to scalability. I mean, come on, man. I mean, billions, if not trillions of TPS for the future. Even at where we're at right now with Terranode, you have millions. So I think somebody like Zuckerberg and the higher ups from Facebook do get whiff of that. Somebody is given the memo. Maybe they looked into it themselves, but it's worth pointing out. Now, the other thing I want to mention is there's lots of uncertainties when it comes to this, right? And that is this. What are exactly the true motivations of Meta and what they're going to, where they're going to go with this? I mean, just to leave? Did they say anything to anybody? Or is that part of an NDA? Who knows? But Meta's true reasons for leaving Copa, of course, are unclear. And it does make it difficult to predict their future blockchain moves. But I think we'll find out that here soon. And of course, I'll explain that here in a bit. There's going to be alternative options for Meta. And let's face it, they might very well explore other blockchain techs or develop their own solutions, leaving BSV as just one possibility. Now, how do we know that? Well, let's take it to this. And some of you guys already have the answer to how we know that. It's this right here. Aptos, right? Aptos, we know about Aptos. Who doesn't know about Aptos by now? I mean, if you're new, you're new. But I think the notion that it's this or bust, I don't think that's the case. I think they still will use this in the use case of Aptos and so on because of obviously the heavy ties with it. When you think of Aptos, most people immediately will mention the likes of Meta, Facebook, right? But my point is that if this exists, this whole notion that they're not going to get into the whole blockchain game because it's never been done before with them, that's a lot of malarkey because Aptos is the example. And with that also said, you got to keep in mind that while all this is just speculations based on, of course, the available information, because that's what we have, the future of Meta's blockchain involvement does remain uncertain. But keep in mind, we'll try to find out if anybody has some definitive answers. I think those answers are going to open up here soon. How so? They opened themselves up when they left Copa, right? So like to pick some brains in regards to this. Obviously, people in the community might know more about this than I do. Michael Middleton, he's going to be our special guest tomorrow. We'll definitely talk about some of this as well. Bring the questions. Ask the hard questions. But again, keep it respectful. And if anything, that concludes the BSV coverage of the night. It wasn't a big, long thing to get into tonight because, again, tomorrow. I want to save that for tomorrow. So with that said, we're going to get back into the comments, see if there's anything specific. And after that, we're going to probably close things out. All right, let's see here. Who is the next person that was in line for the, comments? All right, let's see who it is. XXI Gaming, because it'd be pump faking. Oh, you like that thumbnail I made, huh? I did see you posted that. Yeah, I do like that thumbnail. That's a pretty good one. The Steph Curry, and who was the other guy on there? Schroeder. Oh, Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder. All right. BSV scam. Yeah, definitely not on that one. Dennis Leal. Is it XRP or XLM that can operate without internet? Had heard a while back, but couldn't remember which one. Still think Elon Musk with Starlink satellites is going to be huge in this ecosystem. From what I gathered, it was more of XLM. But if somebody has about XRP, sure. I mean, I don't know everything. Never claimed I did. So I could learn more about that as well. All right. You love footing your own bags. You're like, I'm going to foot my own bags and short BSV a little bit and make a bunch of money and then get back into it. I don't know. All right. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, it's always been that way. If you guys have been watching the show, I don't know if you guys ever noticed this. And I have nothing against Mr. Bellwether, but I called him out too because he called me out. And he was just like, oh, even on his show, I will call out anybody, and I will go on their platform. I literally messaged him and did it politely. I was like, I would gladly do this. And it was crickets. And some of these other people come in the comments and it's always crickets. I mean, it's just like, all right, well, I don't know. I've seen this time and time again. I've even seen these like at back in the day with like political rallies and stuff like that. I believe this way because what? Share why that is. Don't just come to these rallies and beat your chest to your own, I guess you could say the beat of your own drum or the toot of your own horn. You gotta back some stuff up, but people don't do that. I've seen so many cases where people are just loud. That's it. And that's no disrespect to the guy that was here earlier, but I'm just saying, I mean, it's a common thing that I've seen in this crypto journey for the last couple of years. Like, people will call me out and I'll be like, all right, well, let's do this, because I at least have the research. I took the time to present it. Do you see them ever taking the time to present their case? Sometimes, and usually they're what? They're content creators. They're influencers as well, and I get that. But most of the time when it comes to some of these guys, especially from the JASMY community, I hate to say it, not the JASMY community, but the anti-JASMY, people, it's just the same thing all the time. JASMY scam. That's why we had that joke. If everybody ever wondered that, like, why do you always say JASMY scam? It's a joke. It's referring to these guys that have like meme token names, like ME, who do that. And it's just, I just laugh every time. I think it's so ridiculous. We haven't seen this guy in a while. I don't even know if he knows about this platform. But who was this? Miguel. I don't know if you guys remember Miguel. So I saw him on another content creator's channel for JASMY, and then a bunch of people came in. They're like, JASMY scam. And then Miguel was like, yeah, scam, all right. That's why I'm up 200%. Yeah, he's up 200%. Want to know why? Because he bought the bottom. He probably loaded up at 0.0027 or something like that. Yeah. But anyway. What else we got up in the comments? All right, so let's see here. We have, I think we have some more questions. Is Trust Wallet iffy? It can be. Remember, you guys know Han, HTN, lovely lady, comes in the comments, very enthusiastic about JASMY. She shared a very sad story about, she lost a bunch of crypto, or it was hacked on Trust Wallet. Does that mean she was, used the plugin and she just kept it there? I don't know. On a web browser? I don't know. I mean, we'll have to find out. But I have seen cases where, people have had that happen. I use Trust Wallet, but I'll just give you guys a heads up. I'm really weird to a sense when it comes to non-hardware wallets. So this is a weird practice for me. I'm just going to share. I share with Mike Cornwell. So my own personal cell phone, right? As Mike would say, this is my peasant class phone because I'm on an Android. I need to get with the times and go with, Apple. And I do believe that I should do that. As far as security, I do believe that if I'm looking from a security point, I probably should go with that. But I can eliminate that completely. How do I eliminate that completely? Well, on my old phone, which is not that old anyway, I keep my apps on that specifically. And then on top of that, that app is not, it technically doesn't have any service. So all it has is what I have here around my own local network. And it's a secured private network, if you will. And so any new apps I install, I just install on that. Because if in the odd case that someone steals my phone, even though if somebody stole my phone, they would still need to have my code to log into the phone and all that, right? I mean, shoot, I remember one time just joking around with my friend. I said, hey, let me see your phone. I said, I bet I can get into your phone. He was like, I bet you can't. I was like, I bet you I can get into it within 1 minute. He was like, you're on. And so guess what? I looked at his fingerprints. I held it up to a light, held it in a certain angle. And I was like, boy, there's the answer right there. And I tried it. Was wrong for 30 seconds. I was like, all right, well, I'll try these variables. Basically speaking, within about a minute, I got into his phone. He was blown away. I said to him, for one, you got your fingerprint marks all over the main pattern of your phone. What happens if somebody that's smart, not to say that I'm smart, I try not to do that. I don't, I'm a humble person, but somebody who's smart and knows these things are going to get into anybody's phone. So that always worried me. I was like, if I got that fast into somebody's phone, what's the next thing? And even with the whole thing of, well, we have extra protection, 2 form factor, all that stuff. If the person has the phone and they're sending you the codes to that phone that's been stolen, I don't want to enable it. I don't want to create that type of situation. So for me personally, it's separate phone, apps on that phone. And I only do work on those things here locally. I don't go out into the world with my phone, my or old phone, no. So yeah, if somebody was to steal my phone and do the method I just mentioned to you guys and so on, they're like, I'm gonna get Maximus Crypto's crypto, you know. Or as Mike would make fun of me, the Rice Cup Consortium. I want you to touch my XRP bags, or where he calls it. The point is, they ain't got to touch squat because I have nothing on here. And I have nothing to suggest crypto in there other than somebody saw my browsing history and saw that, this guy likes watching crypto content and, goes on CMC a lot and CoinGecko. Right. But there's no apps on there. Exactly. So Trust Wallet, I know it's a long question. Is it iffy? Well, it can be. It just also depends on how you go about it. And if you are going to be the person, whether you're using a MetaMask wallet or using a Trust Wallet or anything that involves a plugin to a desktop version, always make it your rule of thumb every single day of your life that you're going to unplug it, disconnect it. Don't leave those plugins just sitting around. That is just asking to get hacked. I don't care how secure you think your network is, because there's backdoor ways to get into add-ons, plugins, and so on. That just, we talk about security. Plugins do not have that heightened security, and hackers know that. And if anything, if you look more into these videos of cases where people are like, I got hacked, I would say 9 times out of 10 is because they had a plugin on the desktop version. Have I seen instances where a person had been hacked just on the app version on their phone? Well, of course. But always take those extra measures to make sure that doesn't happen to you. So anyway, enough about that. All right, BSV Stacker makes sense since Meta is involved in the whole VR world. So they need a tech that is fast, scalable, and cheap. There's only one that can fill that, and that is dun 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 BSV. Somebody should, you should probably screenshot that. I know you share stuff on X. That's a good one. It makes sense. Reply to what happened recently. I'm not telling you what. Well, I guess I kind of telling you what to do. Suggestion is different from telling you what to do. I would post that. I would retweet that in light of everything that's happened recently, because that's a great statement. All right, Zuckerberg knows what's coming. Yeah, you better believe it. I mean, somebody like that, multi-billion-dollar status, if you're hiring a team of people, if not already, it's giving you those memos, and so on. And he is smart, right? So maybe he already knows anyway. But whatever the case be, it's either him or his team, right? He knows. I agree with you on that, Cool Cat. He definitely knows. All right, Roan, if I pronounced that right, just learned that there was no XRPL hack. It was intact. Right. That's what you're talking about earlier. Yeah. It's a perfect case of buy the rumor, sell the news, sell the FUD. I mean, should say what you want. Mike Cornwell and I were talking about this, I think, last night, maybe when I was coming home. I was in the car. I was talking to Mike, and he was mentioning, he was just like, the best thing to do when it comes to shorting is to constantly refresh news. If you get something fresh, for instance, like not just about a hack. I mean, a hack, of course, it's like if you got the news right when that was happening before the market tanked, then you could technically, short XRP. I mean, me personally, I'm in the XRP for the long-term gains and so on, but I get it. People are going to do this. I think it was John Francis or somebody else made the example the other night. 95% kept on cold storage, and then a little bit of that for, either leverage or whatever the heck be, shorting and so on. But can you imagine, catching it just right before that news drops, right? Putting in a short, writing that down, and then if anything, what would change that from just writing down further? Well, of course, it is the news about Brad Garlinghouse and coming out with a message, or Chris Larson saying, no, It was just for his personal wallet. That is a big difference. But again, that's why I pointed out the whole thing with Alliance Block, right? You know, you had that hack. People are like, oh, Alliance Block got hacked. Alliance Block didn't get hacked. It was bonked out. Big difference. And of course, they severed ties with bonked out, rightfully so, because of security measures. But I just think it's interesting to see how, you know, it is a case of buy the rumor, sell the news. I mean, God, how many people probably did really well on shorting XRP within the last 24 hours? Or hell, even the last, what time is it right now for me? I don't know, the last 12 to, I don't know, anywhere from 12 to 24 hours. Some people did really well, you know, really, really well. Whether it's 10x, 20x, like Mike was saying, for shorting, or wherever the case be, or heck, depending on exchange, even higher than that. Maybe 200x, right? Or MEXC or something like that. I mean, that's game changing stuff, you know? That's absolute game changer. Put $1,000 into shorten XRP and get that run up, even just in a few minutes, run down, I should say. I mean, good God. $1,000 would become what, $200,000? That's insane. How about a 20x? That'd be $20,000. I mean, it's nothing to bat an eye about. Max should short more. Max should leverage. I have never done that stuff yet. That is out of my realm, but I do want to get my feet wet in that eventually. I also don't want to wreck myself. You know, I know some of you guys do that stuff. You know, I know Kushu Boy has done it as well. Shout out to him. And some of you guys done really well. So Mike has done well in the past too. I know he shares some of that insight. All right, let's see. Let's read this. Cool Cat is letting us know. I think Zuck finally realized he has no choice but to use BSV. That'd be tremendous for all of us, the whole BSV. I mean, that's, yeah, because I mean, here's the thing. All right. I want to point this out real quick. You know, some people feel as though like Meta is getting left in the dust. Say what you want from a business point of view. And I was listening to NPR. Don't shoot me about listening to NPR. I listen to both sides of the news, like I said. But they did a really good interview with this person talking about like CRMs, and they were talking about, for instance, just like the platform itself is still the best when it comes to like business marketplace and so on. And with that also said, you got all these people still using the platform. We're not just talking about millions of people. I mean, I think still a good population. Maybe it's 1 billion or 2 billion people. You know, there's 8 billion people in the world now. So you still have a lot of people using this platform. By the way, Instagram, right? We know that they purchased them a while back. They want to appeal to a younger audience. So this whole notion that, oh, Facebook is just old. No, it's they kept up with the times. That's why they rebrand themselves to Meta. So it's still a big platform, and that platform cannot have issues with any type of scalability problems at all. And if you have a platform that even at its current state will help you get to millions of TPS through like something like Terranode, and then be able to scale further with what Meta apparently wants to do in the metaverse, right? Metaverse, a lot of people are like, nothing really happened in metaverse. Again, a whole perfect example of that utility is not fully in motion yet. You know, the way I look at it's like this. The shopping malls that we know of, the physical shopping malls are ghost towns. Right? But the virtual shopping malls are the metaverse. And those have been built on multiple platforms for multiple different blockchains and projects and so on. But there isn't a lot of people at these virtual malls yet. So Meta, I think they realize that. They want to prepare themselves for the future. And they say to themselves, okay, what ones are out there? Looking into this, XRP, Stellar, all this stuff. They could use those also as all, like part of their choices. But as far as real true scalability, I will agree with this. Nothing comes close to BSV. I'm just not willing to just only become a person that invests in BSV, because I believe that things do pop off at different times and so on. But to each his own. And I will agree with that statement from Mr. Coolcat. All right, Crypto Future, welcome. Yes, hello to Crypto Future. We are doing a collaboration, me and him, I believe it's on a recorded video. It won't be for a live, but you know what? We'll get you on the live someday in the future. Give Crypto Future a follow. I'm gonna show you guys his particular channel. I always do this. It's just the right thing to do. So he covers a lot of different things, and he is not Teddy Ganja. Shout out to Teddy Ganja too. He's not Rodney, right? Because there's my crypto journey, but this is crypto journey. So I mean, I don't want to confuse anybody. But here he is. Let's share this real quick. Actually, I almost shared Rodney's. Nothing against Rodney. Let me see. Hold on a second. Let me pull this up. Yeah, hold on a second. I'm going to type in another word to pull it up real quick. All right. I'll pull up your channel. Yeah, not Crypto Journey, Crypto Future. I'm sorry. Teddy Ganja is my Crypto Future. And then there's, okay. So see how I messed that up? I messed that up, didn't I? All right. Let's share this real quick. This is his particular page or channel. And I know a lot of you guys, shout out to X. I think, I was going through the comments and, X suggested the collaboration. X marks the spot. But yeah, this is Crypto Future. And yeah, give him a subscription. I think I'm subscribed to on my regular Maximus, which is DPG Max. Someone also subscribe on this. So you got 2 subs, if you will. And wow, you really, you pump some iron, do it. Do a collaboration with Maximus. All right, sorry, that's corny. All right, so here's some of his latest videos. 2 hours ago, we talked about JASMY. We always talk about JASMY. JASMY talk 0.03 coming soon, or is it 0? Maybe you're talking about 003. I don't think you are, but anyway, quick 9-minute video. Check it out. He constantly talks about JASMY. I like that. That's good stuff. I do see that you're a big proponent of JASMY. I love people that bring that. He talks about Caspa, Avalanche. Obviously the things that we also talk about, like what Mr. Jerome Powell's doing and so on. He covers other projects, XRP, so Arbitrum. I mean, there's a lot of things he covers in here, so that's very cool. Look forward to doing the collaboration with him. Again, give him a follow. He can be followed at CryptoFuture99 over on YouTube. All right. Let's go further down. Let's just see what else you guys got left. Icy Amphibian. JASMY scam. Wow. He's just joking, obviously, but glad to have Mr. Icy in the house. And let's read this from Brad Mills. They all have different advantages. Arculus seems the easiest to use and use iPhone. Cool. Brandon, XXI Gaming, 21 Gaming. But I always call him XXI, right? Facts, Max. You, Floyd Mayweather, they want to be Rocky. Acting only gets you so far until the real thing walks in the room. I mean, that's a good analogy. I never thought about that. I do like watching Rocky. I need to see Creed 3. I was so disappointed when I heard that the production company or whatever it was basically did a slap to Sylvester Stallone. You don't do that, man. You don't do that. You don't disrespect the person that put it all together. That's just you just don't do that. But that happened, so that's sad. I did hear a rumor, I looked more into it, that there's going to be a Rocky prequel, and there's going to be an actor to play the young Rocky. I don't know how that's going to work. You know what I mean? But hopefully Stallone is writing the script. And whoever that person is, I mean, talking about having to really bring that out. I mean, especially with the voice and all that. But that'd be cool. And what I also read in this, not the script, but like for the possibilities is takes place, of course, in the 60s and so on. You see a lot of protests, Vietnam War. And it's kind of like, man, is this going to be like kind of like Forrest Gump meets Rocky? I mean, say what you want. It does sound interesting. So I'm a fan, and hopefully it works out. Anyway, we're keeping up Crypto Futures YouTube. Again, give him a follow. Obviously covers a lot of things that we cover. You lost 100,000 XRP. Oh my God, when was that? Was that like when it was towards all-time lows or something like that, or was that recent? And just to have 100,000 XRP is pretty crazy. Wow. Well, I'm sorry for your loss. I mean, geez, RIP your XRP. Brandon, XSI Gaming. There's a new wallet called Joy ID. new, so do your own research, but man, you like it. Why do you like it though? That's what we want to know. Icy Amphibian, lol. Have to go for now. Looking forward to catching the beginning on YouTube later. Oh, no problem. Give Icy Amphibian also a follow over on X, because X gonna give it to you. XXI Gaming, damn dude, that much XRP. You hate to admit it, but that happened. But that's the reason why you divide everything up into many wallets. Interesting. Josh Ritchie, not to be confused with the one and only Lionel Richie. He's been holding for 4 years. Well, that's a good point. That ain't nothing. I mean, there's other people, like LeGrand Commission, Sumo Fudd, Henry Brown, been holding a lot longer than that. But, the whole point is it's not a holding measuring contest. God, that sounds bad. Anyway, BSV Stacker, bro. iPhones fix that issue about the fingerprint marks in your screen. Okay. All the more to go from is Mike Cornwell will say peasant class cell phone user to, joining the elites. Anyway. All right, let's see here. What else we got? Metaverse is the future. Yes. That's a good one from Mr. Squid. You could lose your butt on 200x. Yeah. You done 60x and before there was some nice stuff, right? Good point. All right, let's get towards the bottom. Brad Mills. Hey, where's my wrench? I'm a mod over on Alex Cobb's channel, lol. You get your wrench when you damn well earn your wrench. I'm playing. Don't you? What? No. How it works is if you come here on a regular basis, this is the first time I've seen you. Maybe you've been here before, right? But come to at least 4 shows, and then we'll go from there. Okay? Fair enough? If it ain't fair enough, you could pull a Cartman and be like, ski guys, I'm getting hand. And I would understand that, Anyway. Thanks for the shout out. You're very welcome. And let's see what else we got here. You subscribed. All right. Well, that definitely helps. All right. Just because you subscribe to him instead of 4 times, we'll subtract that to 3. All right. Does that work? All right. BSV Stacker. So many people will get wrecked the way I got wrecked with FTX and Luna if they don't drop BTC. That's a good point. Yeah, I agree. And I don't know if you will see how they write the movie. Yeah. Another one I'm looking forward to if it ever gets done. Die Hard Year 1. I mean, John McClane is a rookie cop in the mid 1970s, early 1970s, something like that. That sounds interesting. But again, how do you get somebody to really play the likeliness in, body language and so on and talk like, Bruce Willis? I mean, say what you want. I mean, I don't know. I mean, think about Die Hard, the first Die Hard. I know it's not crypto related, but John McClane references John Wayne, with the whole yippee-ki-yay. I mean, I remember when I first heard that, I was like, a lot of you guys are older than me, but I was in the 2nd grade, right? They came out. I was at school the next day, and every kid at recess time and lunch was just like, yippee-ki-yay, mother, give me your damn lunch. It's just, was it we had like square pizzas back then, because instead of getting the cold stuff back in the day, the cafeteria, like they would actually make you hot food. Even to this day, this is the craziest thing. I know some people are like, yuck, man, cafeteria food is gross. Not my school's cafeteria. The lady that was the chef, the head chef there, or cook, or whatever you want to call it, she had the best lasagna I ever had in my life. Like, for real. And I've had some good lasagna, like good, Italian food in my lifetime. But her lasagna was just off the chain. And I know some people are like, that's because your kid, everything tastes better. That might be true. But I even had adults say the same thing. Like, for real. So that's the way I look at it. But anyway, my point is that, it's like, yeah, it's worth pointing out. Anyway, I'm getting too far ahead of myself, but I just lost it. Anyway, sorry. Crypto Future, I'm always here, guys. Always, I'm usually quiet. Max brings the alpha. Well, thanks, man. That's incredible. Thank you. And even though I haven't done the collaboration with you, I already send you a formal invite to be a guest right on here. Maybe we'll talk about some JASMY together. We could joke around and talk about all the JASMY fudders on X. That's like JASMY scam. I look at chart 99% down. JASMY scam. Well, these are former Sony executives. I don't want to hear that. JASMY scam. Well, Kunitake Ando shared the stage with Mr. The guy from Apple years ago. I don't care. JASMY scam. Well, they're looking to do a collaboration with Sony and Honda for the Internet of Things for autonomous vehicles here by 2030. I don't care. JASMY scam. 99% down. Scam. ERC20 token. Scam. Quant. QNT. ERC20, right? Scam. That's basically how it goes. Anyway, I had to go on my scam rant there for a second. Anyway, so bad. Kev Cleveland, welcome. You're probably like, what the hell did I just tune into? Brad Mills, I've been here before and I need a ranch. It's no big deal. I've been here before. I don't need a ranch. What the hell? I've been here before. I don't need a ranch. Oh, you're doing voice to speech. I don't need a wrench. Not a ranch. We all need a ranch, man. You know what I mean? Like, no neighbors is a big thing. That's going to be a thing for me. I don't need no neighbors in the future. I don't need, shoot, man. I don't need to be living next to Roscoe's or not Roscoe's. I like Roscoe's chicken and waffles. I don't need to be living next to Keyshawn's chicken and oil change and listen to Tyrone blast his stereo at 4:00 in the morning. And there's nobody outside. There's no parties going on a work night. Shame on you. Why are you doing that to me at 4:00 in the freaking morning? You know how many times that happens? Or, nothing against my neighbor, Jose, but, Jose does that too. He plays the mariachi music really late at night. And it's just like, why? I can't sleep. And then I had to turn on my fans to drown out the noise. And it's like, who are you trying to impress at 4:00 in the morning on a Tuesday or Monday night, on a work night? Why do you got to do that? I don't know. All right, Crypto Future. New Roadhouse movie looks epic. I haven't seen the trailer. I want to see that. I was a big fan of, the original one, especially the late, great Patrick Swayze. I love Patrick Swayze in, whatchamacallit, God, I'm losing it, the surfer movie. What the heck is it called? Point Break. What am I talking about? All right, let's read a few more comments. You guys got some good comments. Die Hard. See, you're also doing, I think you're doing voice to text or text to whatever you call it. Die Hard is fire. My people always watch those movies every Christmas. Well, yeah, right, exactly. And if if it's Christmas time, you gotta bust out some real Christmas music. Run DMC, Christmas and Hollis, right? Anyway, Die Hard 1 and 2 are actual Christmas movies. Yeah, they are. I'm glad you pointed that out. I did like Die Hard too. Yeah, it's cool stuff. Actually, here's the thing. We're rating the Die Hards. Die Hard, the fifth Die Hard movie, that was the worst. I don't even really consider that a Die Hard movie, just to be honest. That movie sucked. I hate to say it, that movie sucked. But here's for me personally in order, and I know most people don't agree with this. That's okay. My first favorite Die Hard movie is Die Hard with a Vengeance. My second favorite Die Hard movie is Die Hard 1. Third favorite is Die Hard 2, which is Die Harder. And then then I guess you could say, Live Free or Die Hard. I mean, that was good too, but I didn't like the PG-13 rating, and you get what I'm saying. Anyway, it wasn't bad though. All right, let's see what else. Ranch, not ranch. I know. Sorry about that. XXI, Cool Cat growing up. I was like, why we always got to watch this? LOL. After a while, I was like, what about sports? That's funny. You need 100 acres ranch, right? Yeah, because neighbors suck, right? There's no edit option. It's all good. I figured it out. Not drunk, but not opposed to it either. Elon Musk, gummied out and messing up things all the time. It's all good. Let's see what else we got here. Songbird, can you talk about MoneyGram? I did. I talked about it on the Stellar segment of the night. So, later after the show, things get chopped up. You'll see chapters and stuff like that. And then, of course, we, make videos out of the live anyway. So You can definitely catch it out on the live replay. But welcome back, Songbird. We also need to talk about Songbird, right? As in, you know, the whole project with, you know, Stellar and so on. So there's that. What else we got up in here? I think we're almost, we're almost towards the bottom. Yep, we did talk about MoneyGram earlier today. Like literally, I don't know, about an hour ago, maybe more than an hour ago. All right. So that's about it. As the saying goes, know what you hold, know why you hold it. The research trumps FUD 110%. But why is that? Well, because at the end of the day, you took the liberty with our community and other communities out there of fellow blockchain and research enthusiasts to put in the actual research. So when the random ME guy comes around, he's like, JASMY scam. Does it really matter? No, it doesn't. So you guys have a great night, and we will catch you on the next one. And it's going to be with special guest Michael Middleton tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. You don't want to miss it. Smash that like on your way out. And if you really want some great stuff, go ahead and follow the one and only Elon Musk on X. Okay? Because he's always got some interesting things to share. All right? It's been a good one. Yes, yes. Peace out to everyone. Pleasure. Yes, pleasure to you. Good night, good night. And Brittany, good night, good night. Y'all have a good one. And shout out to Kev Cleveland once again. Boom. And also Crypto Future. Give him a follow. Sayonara from the Race Cup Consortium. Let's go. Bye-bye.